Thanks. So welcome again to Midwest U. I'm really excited to be here. BOXX is honored to be here. So I want to talk just a little bit about who we are. There are probably some people in the room who are either a customer or you've heard about us or you haven't. And so if you haven't, then hopefully you'll come away with what I'll talk about today and what hopefully you'll have time to spend visiting our table and get some information. So really at BOXX, we exist for a single reason. You guys are creative and you have pressure on you when you're doing creative work. If you're building buildings, designing a community, roads, your time is incredibly valuable because it helps you make decisions. So at BOXX, we understand that. And so our goal is to provide you with the best solution for the right process and application. So let's talk a little bit about that. So we've been doing this for 21 years, and there's 4 kind of key areas. First of all, we are a manufacturer. We're based in Austin, Texas, and we use engineering software to design all of our own chassis. We do thermal analysis. And we do that kind of engineering effort because we overclock an i7. So I'll talk about that in just a second with this guy. And so why do we do that? The reason that we do that is because we have found, and our customers have found, and software developers even like Autodesk have found over time, that frequency-bound applications like Revit or Civil 3D only talk to one thread. The only thing that matters in that case is frequency. So the best performing system is going to be focused on that. We do that with very low-level support from Intel. We've been doing it for 21 years very reliably. And again, we do that because that's what you guys demand. So the other thing that's unique about BOXX and key is our support. That goes for both the pre-sales process and post-sales. We understand 3 primary domains in the graphics business, and I'll talk about those in just a second. And then lastly, we focus on designing the right system for the job. And I'm going to talk about that too in just a sec. Let's see, here we go. So what are the key areas for us? It turns out over the years that we've been doing this that there's some common ground in architecture, engineering, construction, manufacturing and product design, media and entertainment, and broadcast. And the common ground typically is 2 things. First of all, most of the applications are bound by frequency that are out there, unless it's a CPU rendering process, which we have solutions for as well. And the other thing that's common is the expertise that's required in each of those particular spaces. So we are not a one-size-fits-all company. We don't think that any professional, whether they're an engineer or an architect or an animator, need the same computer. It turns out that there is common ground there, but we treat each case differently because it's the domain that we live in. We don't live in the consumer space. We're not interested in consumer products. We strictly focus on the professional space. So again, the right tool for the job. I'm going to just shift here a little bit and talk about this guy. This kind of encompasses BOXX, and I'll tell you why. This is a pretty Herculean engineering effort. If you're asking yourself, what is this? This is a workstation. This little guy is a overclocked i7. It's liquid cooled. It's super fast. It's a perfect system for people who are concerned about space in their office and they want maximum performance from a system. So you got quadra-level graphics, high-frequency processor, liquid-cooled, and memory and disk options that will meet your needs. So the reason that that's important is that we take the same approach with all of the systems that we design. We're not picking an OEM chassis and then putting components in it. We design the chassis and we know how the air is going to behave. There's an animation on our website you can watch about how air moves through this machine. And it's important because you guys need to meet deadlines. You cannot afford for systems to be down, and they have to perform. So in order for us to deliver performance and reliability, we have to understand a lot about that system. Oops, wrong direction. Okay, so beyond the workstation space, if you're doing any kind of GPU rendering right now, what's also critical is making sure that the system that you pick at its inception was designed for multi-GPU rendering. So we can put up to, in a desk side system, we can put 5 GPUs in a system. We can put 1 half-height and 4 full-height GPUs. Additionally, if you need to scale and have rack-mounted systems that deliver both CPU and GPU rendering, we can do that. We have things like the Apex 8R, which is for that purpose. So again, the core philosophy of our company and our design approach is to build systems that are a rifle shot approach to the problems that we see in the process of creating content. We have to do that very, very specifically so that your confidence in what you're doing is that the product or the machine is not a part of your thought process as a creative professional. It's transparent. When our systems ship, the overclock systems, it's completely transparent to the end user. There are no settings for you to play with. There is no, I want to turn on this faster overclock feature. It's implicit in the system that you get. So the out-of-box experience is a wonderful thing. Okay, so I want to end here with a couple of slides about another area, which is portability. So the other thing that's common in the industries in which we serve is that the performance that you needs to be portable in some cases. So we have laptops that are super powerful and very fast. So here at the show, there's 2 places that you can get your hands on one. CTC has a VR pavilion. There are 2 BOXX MXL VRs that are hooked up to a HTC Vive and an Oculus so that you can get an experience of seeing how our laptops perform with VR. And at our table as well, you can do the same thing. We have an Oculus there, and you can come over and check it out. So I would encourage you to come by the table because we're giving one of these systems away at the end of the event. The winner will be announced next week, but in order to be in, you just need to go by and put your card in our bowl, or you can do it at the VR pavilion. So again, we are delighted to be here. We have a reputation in the business of providing quality, performance, and reliability, and these are some of the customers that have agreed with that and decided to use our systems. So again, you can come by the booth, and I can give you my card. You can enter to win a system, and if you have any other questions, then come by and see us. Thanks for your time.